Goals are really an interesting topic because over my time learning Chinese and learning business and all this sort of stuff, I've followed a lot of self-help people, people like Tony Robbins and all sorts of creators like that. Brian Tracy, he's one of my favorites. They often have conflicting ideas about goals, so I'm not really sure what is the definitive right answer regarding making goals and setting goals. I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't think it's black and white. I don't think it's like goals are useless or don't focus on goals, or if you don't have goals, you're going to fail, or if you do have goals, you're wasting your time. I think it's somewhere in between. It depends on how you do it. I think a prevailing theory that makes a ton of sense that I learned from Atomic Habits, which is a book that I think everyone's at least heard of now. Goals are essentially useless. It's nice to have goals, but having a goal doesn't necessarily mean you're going to achieve it. You need a process in place that makes sure that you show up every day and actually work towards that goal. And that makes sense logically for sure. But I just remember when I was just figuring out how to acquire Chinese, I wanted to pass the HSK 6 and I wanted to do it within like a year or so after figuring out the whole, comprehensible input thing. And I wrote down my goals every day. I don't know if I did it for an entire year. I honestly can't remember. But I had a notebook and I had 10 goals. This is following Brian Tracy's advice. I wrote down my goals in the present tense, and I did that every single day. And it did keep me on track. I don't know if that was the thing. Maybe I would have succeeded without doing that, but I felt like it really helped. So the Brian Tracy method of goals there's a bunch of steps to it. And if you look him up on Google, you'll be able to find this. I think it's like 14 steps or whatever. And we'll go through some of them today. But essentially it's write down your goals, or at least your 3 to 5 most important goals. Write them down every single day and write them down in the present tense. And I did that and it seemed to work. But I also get it the other way. So I think the key is I think you should have goals. I at least have goals, but they shouldn't be too far away and they should be SMART goals, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. SMART goals, SMART goals. We'll touch on that as well in a sec. But I think it's also important to have a daily process that you stick to. So you have, which is kind of goals as well, right? So you have your big goals, like in a year, I want to achieve X, 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 or 6 months, I want to achieve X. But then you have your daily goals, which I use in the form of a habit tracker on my phone to make sure that I complete my daily goals, which I have calculated that I need to achieve if I want to achieve my larger goals. So I think the process, quote unquote, is kind of just a series of very, very short-term goals, like daily or hourly goals that you set for yourself. And eventually those become habits and you don't need to set the goals or even keep track of them really. But after a while, I actually do, even though my habits are ingrained, I still keep track of them just because, I don't know, just my personality, I guess. I just enjoy it. My personal opinion on the matter, not that I have tons of studies and things like that to back this up, but I think that, you should have goals. There's nothing wrong with goals. That's like your true north, your compass that keeps you in the right direction. But you still need your supplies and you still need a map, right? To keep you on course in general day to day. So that would be your daily habits, I guess, your process that you've put in place to make sure you achieve that goal. So let's talk about SMART goals. Just have a quick review of what I mentioned in this newsletter, and just maybe we could, by the end of this few minutes, we could set some goals for ourselves for 2023 regarding learning Chinese. So the first rule about goals is that they must be specific. This would be the S in SMART. So instead of saying something like, 2023, I'm going to become fluent in Mandarin. Okay, what is fluent? Right, fluent is it's a very odd word. It's a very amorphous word. So something better might be, I am able to use the most common 1,000 Mandarin words according to a list I actually have in a sentence upon request without really much problem. Or I can have a 45-minute conversation with my Chinese language exchange partner or tutor, so we don't have that many problems during that 45 minutes. There's no situations where we actually hit a wall and I have no idea what to do, or at least I need very little help to communicate on a bunch of relatively basic topics. That could be a much more specific goal. So instead of saying, I'm going to learn 1,000 words in 3 months, well, what does learn mean? Does it mean just I'm able to look at the word and tell you what the definition is in English? I mean, I wouldn't go by that standard if I were you. It might be a better idea to say, I'm going to create mnemonics and I'm going to review SRS flashcards with example sentences for 1,000 words in the Mandarin Blueprint method course, or whatever word list or whatever it is you're going by. And I should be able to record them with 95% accuracy within 3 months. So you can actually measure all that as well, which is the next part of SMART. The M in SMART is measurable. But speaking fluently or having a nice, smooth conversation, you know if you've done that. Maybe you could even set yourself a goal of no more than 3 hitting a wall moments. Like I would call a hitting a wall moment is, like I would say, you try and say something, but you literally don't have the tools to do it, and you give up. Like, because a lot of just a side note about speaking practice and things like that, I often force myself to use as simple language as possible, which is just generally a good rule, because it's just nice to communicate in a simple language where everyone can understand what you're saying. Because if I was going to say something high level in Chinese, like an idea in English that is quite complex with long grammar or something like that, I might stumble, right? I might stumble, or I'm using something that I haven't used in a while or haven't ever used. And I might have too many ums and ahs and things like that. And I might need my teacher to save me, to sort of give me some cues to help me out. What I often do now is that instead of asking my teacher to help me, like, oh, what does that mean? How do I say this? Which is fine, by the way. But generally, if you want to have fluency, you want to be able to just communicate without too much of those situations, those hitting walls moment where you're just like, oh, help me, help me. A good way is just to, I try to say it this way. And then you sort of just rephrase it. Just say it in a different way, in a much more simple way. And there are tons of ways to say the same meaning. So imagine you're trying to get over a bridge and the bridge is broken, but there's also, there's a running jump, right? There's also, you can run along the wall. There's a ramp, you can drive a motorbike over the ramp. You can swing on that rope over there. Like, there's all these different ways of jumping over. Jumping over is like the idea of expressing a certain point in a certain way. You might not be able to express it perfectly, exactly how you want it, but you'll get the idea across. But sometimes, you'll be at a level where you just haven't got enough practice with speaking, where you're not so good at that. You just sort of fall down the hole and you just give up. I can't say this. Can you help me out? And you figure it out together. And there's nothing wrong with that, like I said, but that's an example of a hitting the wall moment. It's like, okay, fine. All right, I give up on trying to express this particular point. Help me out, and then I'll remember for next time, and I'll be able to, do that. So you could say, all right, I'm going to measure this by saying I'm going to have a 45-minute conversation, and I'm not going to have any of these moments. And I'm going to do that by, in 6 months or whatever. You write down a specific date. So the next thing about SMART goals is the A. So we've got specific, we've got measurable, and then we've got the A, which is attainable. So can you actually reach this particular goal within the time frame that you've set and with the resources you have available? And you've got to think realistically about what sort of life you have, right? And can you make any sacrifices if not, right, to make it realistic? So learning 1,000 words to that level, actually being able to use them in conversation, 1,000 words in 3 months, if you only have like an hour a day. It's certainly possible for some people, I'm sure, with the right techniques like mnemonics and SRS flashcards. If you're learning those words from TV and movies and things like that, using tools to create flashcards, like using immersion that way, that's for sure doable. If you're using the Mandarin Blueprint method course, then that's definitely doable. All the words you learn in our course are based on characters and there's just ready-made flashcards for you. So we've had people in like 3 months finish the entire curriculum of like 3,000 characters and 10,000 words and stuff. But I don't know if they've mastered all of those 10,000 words, but they've definitely got to the end, at least of the characters. So I think that it's definitely doable with our course, and it's probably doable outside the course as well. But it depends on what standard what standard you're using to measure yourself. Actively and easily use those words in conversation might be tough, but definitely passive knowledge of those words, be able to understand them, that's definitely doable. And it's good to sort of push the limits of what's attainable, to push yourself further and further. But just have a think about it before you set goals. So for example, I think 1,000 words is doable. Have a fluent conversation, like fluent, as in no hitting walls, or very, very, very few instances of hitting walls in a conversation within X amount of months. You decide based on where you are now and what it's kind of it's a tough one with fluency. Like I shouldn't probably have picked that as an example. It's like a super tough one. A lot of people, it's a mental game as well. It's like, I can't imagine myself doing it. But something like improving my Chinese pronunciation. I want to master the DTC sound, and I want to not make any more mistakes with that. At the approval of my teacher, my tutor, which will be measurable. And of course that's attainable. It's doable within like a few weeks with, you know, a bit of time and effort each day on your pronunciation, like doing some drills. So the R, when it comes to SMART goals, is relevant. Relevancy comes down to the difference between goals and objectives. And according to my understanding, goals are what you actually want to achieve, and your objectives are the actionable steps you take in order to achieve that goal. So if your goal is to be able to use these 1,000 words in conversation by August or whatever, but maybe your method for learning those words is not actually effective. It's not actually going to lead to that conclusion. It's not actually going to lead to being able to use them in conversation. Like, for example, how I used to learn words, I used memrise.com, and I would just look at flashcards and look at the Chinese and then flip it on the other side and look at the English definition. That was me learning words. So if my goal is to be able to use those thousands of words in conversation by X time, that objective, that action is not relevant. It's not actually going to lead to that success. It's not going to lead to me reaching that goal. What I need to do is first learn characters and understand the words in terms of visually reading them, and get tons of comprehensible input, see the words in context of sentences lots, like daily, immerse in them in the background passively. You can do all this, again, by using our course, the Mandarin Blueprint Method curriculum. When you unlock words, you get at least one, often multiple example sentences with high quality male and female studio quality audio in flashcards for every single usage of every single word that you unlock. So you will not only see them in and it's completely comprehensible sentences as well. So you'll be able to get that comprehensible input, and you'll be able to download the audio in immersion packs, is what we call them. Download them and passively listen to them, shadow them, which means you're just repeating after the audio. And then if you add onto that, like with tons of that, as well as like just generally consuming Chinese content and also practicing, maybe even specifically asking your tutor to help you practice these words, and just having conversation to try and throw as many of these words in, that would be relevant. And then of course timed, that's the final one, which we've kind of mentioned a million times by now, which is just have a date that it needs to be achieved by. For example, some goals for me, I've got several goals, some are not related to Chinese specifically, but a goal of mine is to have 50 hours of speaking practice, not 50 lessons, 50 hours of actual speaking to a tutor or a language exchange partner or a Chinese person just in general by June, right? That's what I would like. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm gonna try my best. So I've got like lots of 45-minute lessons purchased already on italki, and I'm gonna try and stick to a schedule so that I have at least 50 of those lessons within the next 6 months. You know, because it's just something that I've always been bad about, is just organizing speaking practice. I always do stuff that I really enjoy, that's more easy for me, just watching YouTube videos in Chinese, like immersing and stuff, having conversations with my wife every now and then in Chinese and just stuff like that, but it's not enough. Right? I want to improve my speaking, so that's something that I've decided to go with. Now that's specific, it's measurable, it's definitely attainable, it's also relevant. My goal really is to speak better Chinese, right? So it's definitely relevant, and of course it's timed. Choose one goal at least. I recommend maybe try and choose a few, and don't worry about absolutely reaching them. All right, don't worry about like, oh, if I don't reach it by June, then I've failed, and then I'll just not bother with goals ever again. No, you assess yourself and say, where did I get to? Okay, well, I aimed for 50 hours, I got 25. All right, so, okay, well, I'm just gonna change my goal, readjust, and by September, I'm going to push myself and I'm going to get those remaining 25 hours in. Just sort of readjust, because it's just a guess at the end of the day. Like how much time you give yourself, it's just a guess. And I would recommend, I'm probably not going to do this myself, so I'm not going to say if you don't do it, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here, but I would recommend you try the whole writing down your goals thing and do it in the present tense. I might just write down my goals and have them on my whiteboard in the corner of my whiteboard, it's just there. just so it's visible every day when I'm working. So I suggest maybe do something similar. Have them there, or have a notebook that you carry around with you. Have them on your phone as like the wallpaper, or something like that. You know, just think of a way to remind yourself of your compass, your true north. What that means, just sticking them somewhere or actually writing them down, and do it in the present tense. So for example, by June the 1st, I have had, so present perfect, I have had 50 hours of speaking practice with my tutors, or just generally speaking practice. I guess it's the same, right? Also, the reason why I want to push speaking practice a lot more this year is because I would like to do a lot more research and put a lot more time in to help us create the upcoming speaking course. We're going to aim also to have out by 2023, at the end of 2023. So let me know how that goes with your goal creation in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.